So, these beings would be quite sexually active during their life experience, within their life experience. Now, such human beings would experience physical phases within and as themselves. For example, there will be times where they are completely at a physical high, wherein they will be very active within themselves and the participation in their world, particularly, specifically, sexually. And then there would be phases where they'd be completely empty, like down, low, kind of just zombieing around in their reality, in their environment. Now, the zombieing phase or experience within themselves and their reality and their participation is when there has been no energetic transfer from an elite being within this world. When they experience themselves again like, let's go for it, let me live, let me go find a partner, let me go express myself sexually. That's when an energy transfer has happening, or is even still busy being happening, wherein they're again being energized as their mind consciousness system, as their physicality, as who they are, and they experience wanting to live again. So in essence, such human beings, as normal human beings with this evolutionary elite system within and as them, was literal diffusion manifestations. Deliberately, specifically, only born for that one purpose of diffusing energy for elitist beings within this world to be able to continue their programmed function purpose of directing humanity, the unified consciousness field, into a specific particular direction or movement. Alright, now that was only one being as an example. Now initially there was placed one such being for every 10 elitist beings within this world. 10 different various elitist beings in all fields that play a definitive role within the direction and movement of humanity as a whole, which is, as I've said, we're talking education, law, politics, technology, science, and as the population grew within this world, it ended up being 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000, depending on the amount of beings that stood in important positions within this world that was particularly specific programmed, designed with the purpose of being the elite in controlling, directing humanity into a particular specific direction. Alright, so that was such human beings' only function. That was why they were born, that was their purpose, that was their reason. And such human beings with the evolutionary elite system manifestation within and as them would never marry. They would never settle down. They would always live on this high and low, constantly and continuously, and to maintain their own physicality with all the energy that's being transferred into them, would always go and find sexual partners within the sexual release experience, wherein the energy that was transferred into them is transformed into physical energy, and in and during sex would then release all the energy through physical energy during sex. Alright. Now, understand that I'd suggest and this pertains to all human beings within this world, in terms of when you're experiencing a high and a low, realize it's energy. It's always related to energy. What is the primary focal point of this entire system manifestation is energy. Energy is generated by the mind. It is a system generation point, manifestation. It is in essence not real. It's not physical. It's not actual. It is an influential part of a construct as the entire mind consciousness system. It is something that influences you as who you are, how you experience yourself, what you do, how you do it, when you do it, your behavior, your beingness. And from that simple perspective, it is to stand within yourself and decide in terms of what you're going to accept and allow and what not. I mean, accepting and allowing yourself to be directed, influenced, controlled by a singular thing that can in one moment be something and the next be not, and in that you are influenced and controlled directly because you're suddenly experiencing yourself a certain way and then suddenly not. To me, I'd say that's unacceptable. For me, I'd stand stable here, constant, who I am, wherein I'm the directive principle in the decision of who I am in every moment of breath, and not accepting and allowing me to be directed, dictated, or controlled by energy. So, I suggest assisting and supporting self, and simply not accepting and allowing self to be directed, controlled, or influenced by energy. Not accepting and allowing self to be defined by energy, but to assist and support self to always stand stable here, because in that, as that stability, you know you're the directive principle of you, not some energy that is so limited that it has to go to a high and then balance out within a low, because it is something that that can be in one moment and the next moment it's gone. And taking you through these cycles of highs and lows, highs and lows, highs and lows, where energy is your God from that perspective, because it's dictating to you how you must be, what you must do, how you do it, how you feel, how you experience yourself. So I suggest stop. Simply breathe, be here. Whenever you experience a high or a low, simply don't accept or allow it. Apply self-forgiveness, self-honesty, self-corrective action. Specifically also breathing, being here, remaining stable. And in that, you will eventually stand as absolute self-stability, in knowing that I'm the directive principle of me. I'm not being directed by energy, by something separate of me or from me. Because even in each and every single one of us, accepting and allowing energy within us, we've been accepting and allowing this. And simply looking at it from the perspective of, you know what, I could have been one of these beings. And at the moment there are many of them in this world. There have been many of them. We have unconditionally removed the system manifestation. However, in terms of beings themselves, because they've become it to such an extent, each being must still take that point of definition out for themselves, which is primarily energy. Alright, thank you very much. This is Jeanette, and the explanation of the evolutionary elite system in terms of how there were deliberately human beings placed in this world with a system manifestation to assist and support the elite of this world to do what they were programmed, designed to do, to continue the enslavement, the controlled enslavement of humanity as a whole. Alright, thank you very much.